WANGCHUQIN.
Well, this is a fantastic way to resume this evening's session. World number 2 WANGCHUQIN taking on Nandan, the promising up-and-coming American talent here. He's a really interesting prospect. He plays table tennis alongside his older brother Sid, who's also in attendance to cheer on little brother in this best-of-7 game contest. WANGCHUQIN, a picture of cool and calm, as you'd expect the world number 2, who's been there and done that. And can he do it here in Doha? He's also playing in mixed doubles alongside Sun Ying-Sha, so expectations are high on the shoulders of WANGCHUQIN. First meeting between this pair, and quite some golf in the world rankings. But what an honor for the American teenager to take on the likes of WANGCHUQIN on this global stage. Here's our umpire for this evening's proceedings, patiently awaiting the players ahead of the coin toss. Nandan Naresh already up at the table, eager to get going. What a huge opportunity for him. And his opponent, WANGCHUQIN, just taking a little longer with his last-minute preparations.
I have red, black. Choose black. Choose black, okay? Winner. Service, which side? This side? Okay.
Well, Nandan Naresh wins the toss, but can he win the match? Gavin Maguire sitting alongside me, ready to lend his expert insight and analysis. And you know a bit about this young American, Gavin, who began playing in his parents' basement, and he's a really exciting talent, isn't he?
Very interesting player, Rebecca. Nandan Naresh, very creative. We've seen him pull off some spectacular shots through the last couple of years as he's come up in the junior ranks and now into the seniors. Likes to try many different things, strawberry flicks, different bits and pieces, so we'll be interested to see what tactics he deploys.
Well, here is WANGCHUQIN, turned 25 just last week, the world number 2. He's been on the circuit for over a decade now. And this, the biggest win of his career, the men's singles semi-final at this event 2 years ago in Durban,
6-10,
defeating the great Ma Long. Just look how much that win meant to him, Gavin. Will we see him in the final this year, do you think? We've obviously got the world number 1 in Lin Shidong here as well, and those two on opposite sides of the draw, of course, and that is the final we all expect. Yeah, certainly by seeding we expect to see WANGCHUQIN there. A long way to go before he gets there. Yes, indeed, long way to go, and many opponents to conquer before the final in 9 days' time. Nandan Naresh, the first up, the 18-year-old from Chicago, rising star in American table tennis. Began his journey in his family's basement alongside his brother Sid. Introduced to table tennis through their father, who played recreationally when living in India. In COVID times, that's when they really began to take to the sport, because of course there was nothing else to do. WANGCHUQIN, the overwhelming favourite of the fan vote, but there are 6% of die-hard fans out there for Nandan Naresh. Can he spring a surprise here? WANGCHUQIN then won't be looking at this, Gavin, as a straightforward win, though, because these young players are always dangerous, aren't they? Because they can play with freedom and they can play, often you see teenagers playing with real confidence, and it's, as you said earlier, when you kind of get later into your career that you start to develop a bit more self-awareness and potentially nerves. Yeah, positive start. Exactly that, Rebecca. No pressure on Nandan Naresh entering this game. Of course, it's on the big stage, the World Championships, but he should have nothing to fear here. The world doesn't expect a victory from him, so anything he can produce in terms of games or potentially a win would be out of the ordinary.
1-2.
First meeting, of course, between this pair.
Two.
WANGCHUQIN making life really difficult for his opponent with a couple of decent serves.
Two, three.
Strong play from WANGCHUQIN as well. Stepping up, staying close to the table. And that backhand down the line is a killer.
4-2.
Former world #1 was world #1 in the summer of 2023 and knocked off the top by Lin Shidong, who we saw in action earlier on.
I feel like that world #1 is almost like a target on your back, though. It's not a bad place for WANGCHUQIN to be in now. Not the #1, not the favorite going into this event as he tries to get his first world singles title.
Two, six. Play.
Okay, come on.
3-6. Seven, 3.
Okay, come on. Hey.
7-4.
Come on.
4-8.
It's very difficult to tell what direction WANGCHUQIN is going to go with that backhand. So expansive, he can go anywhere on the table. And you see there again, Nandan expecting it to his backhand. Last moment, WANGCHUQIN changes direction.
But there is no better learning experience for these youngsters than facing a player of that caliber on this stage. 6 game points now.
Ten, 5.
Lovely switch down the line there from Nandan Naresh. Held in with 2 nice backhand blocks and then finding his opportunity to go straight down the line.
Saved 2 game points. He couldn't save the third. WANGCHUQIN, the second seed here, wraps up the opening game, but impressive stuff from the American teenager to save that second game point. That was really confident play from him. WANGCHUQIN, having wrapped up that opening game, you sense, Gavin, that he can just push on from there.
He's certainly going to go up the gears now, WANGCHUQIN, as he's gotten a little bit more comfortable out here on the main court, table 1. Nandan Naresh has it all to do.
That's a look at the top men's rankings. Lin Shidong at the top of the standings. WANGCHUQIN hot on his heels. Well, I say hot on his heels. He's some 3,000 points behind him, but there are 2,000 world ranking points up for grabs for the champion here in Doha. So big points to play for across the next 9 days. Hugo Calderano of Brazil played in doubles earlier alongside Bruno Takahashi. They are safely through to the second round. It's great to see those names featured there playing here in Doha this week, this high-quality competition. It's the opening day, and we've seen many of those star names in action already at the Lusail Arena.
One, love. Fault. Don't check.
Fault called there by the umpire, and he's offering Wang an opportunity to check with TTR.
Go fault, yes.
Our new video refereeing system.
WANGCHUQIN looked confused by the call and certainly wants to have another look, doesn't he?
No. Challenge. Wang. This service angle. Service angle.
You hear yourself there, our umpire saying the service angle, so the toss angle, not vertical enough for his liking.
Well, it must be an anxious wait for the players down on table one. All eyes on the review. WANGCHUQIN certainly doesn't think there was a problem with the serve, but let's have a look at the TTR review.
What? Legal?
Well, a successful challenge
Okay.
for WANGCHUQIN, who trusted his instincts and wanted to have another look.
Replaceable. Replaceable.
And do you think that throws a player off?
Replaceable. Okay.
We replay the
Challenge
point now, Rebecca.
successful.
It's certainly, it's a difficult moment for any player to deal with, really, but WANGCHUQIN will just be happy that
Two challenge
he was
remaining.
proven correct. His service was okay.
Love 2.
Just clipping the edge of the table there. Almost unreturnable for Nandan Naresh.
Love 3. Four love. Four one.
Five.
1-5. One 6.
WANGCHUQIN now just going through the gears. Seems like since that TTR review, he's just getting stronger and stronger.
And what can Nandan Naresh do to try and keep pace with the second seed here?
That is the million-dollar question, Rebecca. I wish I had the answer. WANGCHUQIN sometimes is unstoppable, unplayable.
One 9.
Most important for Nandan here is that he just tries to find a bit of comfort in the game, some rhythm again. It seems like he's been a little bit more affected by the break.
1 9. One 10.
Such a casual way to bring up 9 match points for WANGCHUQIN. Game points, rather. Getting ahead of myself there.
10-2. Ten-3.
Really nice outside strawberry flick received there from Nandan Naresh. So much spin on that ball. And again, a little bit of
4,
unusual play from
10.
Nandan Naresh, using his feeling. We have seen some members of the Chinese team struggle when it's points out of the ordinary, not what they're used to.
11-4. Second game, 1.
Well, the second seed wraps it up 11 points to 4, but he was made to work hard for that one. He had those 9 game points at the end, but certainly wasn't allowed to wrap it up at that point. Wasn't allowed all his own way there at the end, and we have eyes and ears everywhere in the Lusail Arena, so let's head down to the field of play and join Iggy Ivanovic. Iggy, what are you noticing down there? Let's talk about that second game, rapid-fire game from Wang Chuqin.
Rebecca, great question. I've probably seen the trajectory of the ball decrease from about 3 inches over the net from Wang Chuqin to about ½ an inch. He's just stepped up, like Gavin was saying, another level. But his speed over the net and the height over the net, it's incredible. I don't know how he does it from below the table. Incredible.
Yeah, thank you, Izzy. Great to have that vantage point from where you are. You're pretty much level with the net where Iggy's sitting, so it's fantastic to have that viewpoint. And Gavin, going back to what Iggy was saying there, you think the TTR review was a turning point in that second game. It seemed from then that Wang Chuqin thought, I'm not messing about now.
I feel like it really refocused him. Not that he wasn't focused already, but it just took him up another couple of percentages, and it was almost the worst thing possible for Nandan Naresh here.
1. Late.
I mean, it's an amazing thing to be playing in your first
Love 1.
ITTF World Championships finals at the age of 18, but to be playing against the second seed, is it a good thing, is it a bad thing?
At the end of the day, this is an incredible experience for the young American. Not many people can say they played on the main stage at the World Championships against former world #1, current world #2, multiple times WTT champion. So this is something he'll remember for the rest of his career.
Love 4.
Wang Chuqin just looks unlivable with at the minute, just unplayable in these opening stages of this third game. Best of 7, of course.
Love 5. Six love.
Just finding it hard to contain Wang Chuqin now. Nandan Naresh, he's really stepped it up. Won 13 of the last 16 points. Wang Chuqin.
That was absolutely incredible, the pace and power. Wang Chuqin looking to punish this young opponent here. There's no returning that ball.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning that Nandan Naresh has done nothing wrong here to be 7-0 down.
1-7. One eight.
Nice chop block there. Just another sign that Nandan Naresh, the feeling that he has, the creativity that he has. Totally devastating there from Vong. Nandan Naresh did not see that long serve coming. Pops it up. And Vong dispatches.
Absolutely devastating. 8 game points for Wang Chuqin. He gets this, he's a game away from a place in the next round. Phenomenal stuff from the world #2. Wraps up the third one with ease, or he makes it look easy in any case. 3 games up now. Certainly he'll have his mind now on the second round.
Fourth game, one serve, level.
Here we go then, crucial fourth game for Nandan Naresh. Can he achieve the impossible, and that is take a game of WANGCHUQIN?
One love.
I think most important now for Nandan Naresh is he's just got to find a way to start enjoying this game again. The devastating form of Vong is clear for all to see. But those kind of rallies are what we want more from Nandan. To get into the longer rallies. Can he hold in a little bit longer? Enjoy. Start to feel some positive energy again. And maybe it can turn.
You know, as a former player yourself, you've played at this level, 7 World Championships. When you are facing an opponent like WANGCHUQIN, when you are 3 games down, can you enjoy yourself?
Well, I can safely say I never faced an opponent like WANGCHUQIN, and I'm delighted I never did, because it is a very difficult moment for Nandan Naresh out there. But it's also worth mentioning he's also got a lot more talent than I did. So you see those strawberry returns, those different things that he's doing. He is creating good rallies, good moments. Just finding it hard to string points together. That's no surprise against a player in the form of Vong.
Yeah, we must remember as well, WANGCHUQIN has medals at every possible level. World Championships, Olympic Games, you name it. He's been there, he's done that.
Great long serve there from Nandan Naresh. Vong didn't see it coming.
Six, 3. Three, 7. Three, 8. Nine, 3.
WANGCHUQIN brings up match points in devastating fashion, 7 of them. This is just a formality now for the number 2 in the world to book his place in the second round. Well, I say a formality, but
10.
It's the first of 7 match points gone. Nandan Naresh into the net. WANGCHUQIN, the second seed here, safely through to the second round. Wonderful experience for the 18-year-old from Chicago, but there was no living with the standard set by WANGCHUQIN, who you sense didn't really have to get out of first gear, Gavin.
Well, I think he might have reached second gear, Rebecca, there when we saw the TTR review. But look at that scores on the doors. 6-4, 2-4.
WANGCHUQIN barely breaking a sweat in his opening round match. Safely through, and he'll be hoping for a deep run at this tournament, of course, seeded second. We'll have a look shortly at how the men's draw looks at the minute, but this is how the match was won. Some of the best points of this opening round match. Nandan Naresh just falling short there, having hoping to save 7 match points. Managed to save 1, but couldn't go any further. That's how the match was won then. Just 20 minutes on the clock. That's all it took for WANGCHUQIN to dispatch the challenge laid down by Nandan Naresh, who will leave Doha all the richer for this experience. Wants to be in his home Olympics in LA in 2028, and I'm sure we'll see him then. Promising young player.
Yeah, we saw a lot of positives from Nandan Naresh there. The scoreline doesn't really do him justice, but he did himself proud out there on court 1.
Absolutely, it wouldn't have been easy for him to see his name drawn against the great WANGCHUQIN at the World Championships, but credit to him for coming out and giving it a really good go. But WANGCHUQIN looking really good in the brief 20 minutes that we saw him there. WANGCHUQIN safely through to the next round. His opponent is not yet known, but it will be the winner of the match between Leandro Izuka and Olajide Omotayo. That's how the draw looks at the moment. Yep, WANGCHUQIN, the only player through on this half of the draw. Some star-studded names in action. The Europeans well represented. Simon Gauzy of France, Anders Lind, Austria also in there as well. Plenty to look forward to across the next 9 days in Doha. Well, across the next 8 days. We've had day 1 done now, pretty much, this evening's session. Plenty more action still to come. And we can look forward to hearing from WANGCHUQIN, get his thoughts on that match, on that win over Nandan Naresh, the youngster from the United States, and looking forward to hearing WANGCHUQIN's thoughts on that one. That straight games win, 4-love. He took that one in this best of 7. Just 20 minutes is all it took for the second seed to seal his place in the next round. Really looking forward to getting his thoughts on that win. You can see table 2 still playing in action. This is the Lusail Arena, one of 2 elite venues for this tournament that happens every 2 years. Well, we can go now to Iggy Ivanovic, who is with WANGCHUQIN now. Let's get his thoughts on that match.
Match today. How much did you know about your opponent?
首先恭喜王楚钦今天比赛非常精彩。那你对这个对手有怎么样的了解呢？
我觉得还是在混团的时候，见他们是双胞胎嘛，是吧？见过他的另一个兄弟在打球，然后包括也看了他的技术录像，我觉得打法还是比较有特点吧。
My opponent today is one of twin brothers, and I think I've seen his brother play at the mixed teams event. Also, I've watched his match videos. I think he's a player with a distinct playing style.
Playing here at the World Table Tennis Championships, how do you view this event? Do you look too far ahead? What are you expecting from yourself in this event?
那来到世乒赛这样一个重要的赛场，对自己这次接下来的表现有什么样的期待呢？
我觉得没有什么期待吧。我觉得我自己还是要专注于当下，专注于眼前的比赛，不要去过多的去想后面未知的事情。我觉得还是做好一步一步走吧，看能走到哪里。
I do not have particular expectations. I would just like to focus on this moment, the one match ahead of me. I don't want to overthink on the unknown. I just wish to take one solid step after another.
Well done today. We look forward to seeing you in your next round. Good luck.